Okay. Yeah. Sami, are you there?
Yes, there.
Yes, you're asking something. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So, principal supply means, for example, no packaging done, just a normal raw material or whatever it is, just a material or a product.
No. When I say principal supply, what do I mean? Let me just explain that a bit. In the composite supply, no, in the composite supply, there will be suppose 2-3 items that those are sold or products. One of those products will be principal in nature. That is what I'm saying, principal supply. For example, in our example of air ticket and the insurance, air ticket has more relevance. That is the principal one because of which the insurance is coming into picture, right? So that is what I'm calling as principal supply. So in a composite supply, there has to be a principal supply.
Yeah, I got the concept of composite supply and mixed supply.
Okay, now
I'm talking about principal supply. So there are chances only air ticket is sold and there is no insurance. In this case, it is only principal supply.
Okay.
There is no concept of composite or mixed supply. See, composite and mixed supply comes into picture when there is more than one product which is sold along either naturally butter or not.
Then why to even call it principal supply? It's just a supply, right?
Correct. No, for understanding purpose, principal supply is something, it's a core product. That's what I understood.
Okay.
It's an individual product without any packaging.
Okay.
Or without any packaging or whatever it may be, but it is not clubbed with more than one product. It's just one single product.
Okay.
Is that I'm understanding correct?
No, it is not. Because see, principal supply concept comes into picture only if there is a composite supply. If the composite supply is not even there in the question or in the scenario, then there is no question of calling something principal supply. Yeah, understood. No. If there is just one supply, one product is in supply, there's a supply. Why do you even call it principal?
Okay.
Right. So fine. Let's move on to another concept very quickly. Can somebody tell me what is input tax?
Credit on the tax.
Yeah, explain it a little bit because we have to write at least a paragraph about it, no? In case there is a 2-mark question or something.
Okay. For example, like I'm purchasing, usually input tax credit comes into picture when I'm purchasing the goods from the supplier.
Okay.
Right. So when I'm purchasing, I'm paying a GST for him. Right. I am paying it. Okay. But I am going to charge it when I am selling to some other person. But the thing is, I can claim it. Means whatever, like I can claim it input tax rate. That's what like input tax means. If I claim it, government is going to pay back me. Like if I'm not charging for the other customer, then government is going to pay back me if I claim it. That is how like I understand like input tax credit means credit on the tax.
Okay.
Correct me if there's any deviation.
Few sentences there I could realize that you're trying to say what you're trying to say is not conveyed by the phrasing that you're doing, but it's okay. Once you start writing, you'll actually write correctly. I could understand you understand the concept. I'll just add 2 points. Okay, 2 important points. If you write them, actually it'll add value to our paragraph. Number one is IGST paid on import of goods. IGST paid on import of goods. Input tax is available for it. These are things, those are normally we don't think about it. This is a special scenario. Now, second one would be CGST, SGST or IGST paid under the reverse mechanism, reverse charge mechanism. Now, what is reverse charge mechanism? We will discuss later in case you are not able to remember. So second point is this one. Third, last but not the least, the input tax will not be available for the tax paid under composition levy. What is composition levy? Let's pick that as a third discussion. When right after this one, we will take up composition levy. So the normal understanding of input tax, as we have already practiced so many times, when we are purchasing something, the input tax is available on those. Now under that, we can write another sentence for, if the purchase is interstate, then the input tax available will be IGST. If the purchase is intrastate, then the input tax available will be SGST and CGST. Then you can also add the same thing for UT, okay, Union Territory. We just have to add sentences on and cover scenarios like that. You say, suppose we have purchased from another Union Territory, then our input tax will be UT GST and CGST. Everybody agrees, right? No confusion there. I'm just replacing SGST with UT GST. That's all. Now 3 scenarios, 3 sentences gone. Then we can add the input tax also is available for IGST paid on import of goods. When we are importing goods, on that we have to pay IGST. That is also available as a input tax credit. Now, tax paid under reverse charge mechanism, that is also available as what do you say, input tax credit. However, only thing that is not available is the tax paid on composition levy. We will just discuss what is the composition levy quickly. Before that, any questions please on that? Okay. We don't have.
Can you please repeat once? Sorry, if you can write it in Excel here, right hand side.
I don't. Sorry, Sam. I don't have time for that. I wish we would have had discussion earlier about this. I could actually revise and try to remember together these points. I don't have time because I have so many other questions.
No worries.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's there.
Sorry, Dheeraj, one question.
Please.
This regarding this import, that is something we never discussed in the class. So can you please elaborate a little bit?
Yes, sure. No, we have actually discussed. In fact, it's there in the source note also. So import, when we do import of goods, then obviously that customs duty and all that comes into picture. Those are not there in our course. But along with the customs duty and other charges, IGST is also applicable there. Now, imagine a situation where you are sitting in Bangalore, Karnataka, you are purchasing something from Maharashtra. When you pay to the guy from Maharashtra, you are getting the benefit of the tax that you are paying along with it. Is it not?
Right.
Similarly, instead of Maharashtra, if you are purchasing from Sri Lanka, instead of Maharashtra, you are purchasing from Sri Lanka. Obviously, whatever IGST will pay there, that benefit should also be available to you. Logically sounds good, right?
Right.
And that is what the law also says. In case you are paying IGST on the import of goods, that is also available as input tax credit. Yeah. So you can find it in the chapter 2, page number 4. It's there in Sir's note that he had asked us to take a printout of now. In that, input tax definition is there, section 2, subsection 62. So it's there in that, not a problem. The first item only that says, bullet points are there. First bullet point is this one.
Got it. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Any other questions, please? Okay. Awesome. Now, quickly, let's cover composition levy. Then we will move to the questions very quickly. We have already about to spend 1 hour. So we have to cover many other numerical questions. Yeah. Composition levy. Anybody remembers what is composition levy, please? There was this one scenario where service provider is given an option to opt for lesser tax. Can anybody remember some discussion like that?
Oh, yes. So if the total turnover does not exceed, I think 20,000 for services and 20 lakhs for services and 40 lakhs for goods, then they can opt to pay a lower amount of tax without registration or something.
Yes, the amounts the amounts that you told are incorrect, but the logic is fine. In case you are confused about amounts, don't write the amounts. I would recommend, because what happens is when you write the wrong amounts, though, it will be zero, completely zero. At least if you write the concept, then we'll get some marks for that. So the amount is 75 lakhs. 75 lakhs and 50 lakhs for those special states, if you remember, northeast states, and there were a few other states included in that.
Yeah, Jammu and Kashmir.
Yes, Himachal. 50 lakhs for that. If I'm not wrong, if that is revised, then I'll have to be updated. Okay. As of now, my understanding is that only 75 lakhs and 50 lakhs. But the concept that you told is absolutely correct. So any person who is whose turnover is less than that specified limit, which is 75 lakhs and 50 lakhs for those special category states, they can apply for this particular composition levy and say to government that we are actually not that big of suppliers, so don't charge this much of amount of tax on us. So very less, please.
Sorry, Dheeraj, I had noted that the amount limit is 1.5 crores per year.
Right? I was actually confused between that only. So I was just looking for the same thing in Google. It's actually 1.5 crore, I think. I was also remembering the same number. I could not find that in.
Yeah, there was a problem also with this limit, I think.
Fine, that is 1.5 crore. What is for special states?
I don't think there is some separate
There's
mention.
nothing different.
I think that one is the registration limit that gets reduced for special states. So 1.5 crores is overall, but that 40-20 becomes 20 and 10 in case of special states, no?
Actually, the composition levy for special states is slightly lower, but I don't think he has covered that. Okay, fine. Let's not focus on that. Yeah. So that is 1.5 crores, guys. As I was also confused, I'm sorry. Thank you, Shakti, for updating us. So that is 1.5 crores only. We will remember that. Just to write. Composition levy, as we have discussed, that is what is the concept. And now coming back to the relationship that we just discussed about input tax credit and the composition levy, what happens is the moment you apply for composition levy, by default, as a condition for allowing you lesser tax, the government says that you cannot get benefit for credits. You cannot get benefits for credits when you are selling to another person. That whole chain is broken there. So when the composition levy is applied by a supplier, and I am the person who is purchasing from that composition levy person, then I cannot avail the credit. That is what it means when we were reading the input tax. So input tax is not available for composite supply. Okay, no? Any questions?
Dheeraj, input tax is not available for composite supply, you said, or composition levy?
My bad. I said it wrong. Composition levy. Yes. Composite supply, I said. Yes. Correct.
Okay.
So this is same for both goods and service, right? Or is it separate, or is it clubbed together? Is 1.5.
1.5 crore is the total turnover for you, be it goods, be it service, for a particular assessee, whatever services that you provide or the products you sold all together. If it is less than 1.5 crore, then you are eligible for applying for composition.
Got it.
Yes. Okay. Now that we have covered that, if any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, we will move to the next question. The next question is part B of question 2, which is A Limited of Mumbai, having registered premises, makes the supplies of goods worth 10 lakhs to B Limited, which has also registered business in Pune. Further, B Limited sells the goods to its customer in Chennai for 14 lakhs. Compute the GST liability to A Limited and B Limited, assuming GST rate to be 18% uniformly. Now, there are two transactions. Yes, A Limited is selling to B Limited, then B Limited is selling to customer. Now, the first one, it's what do you say? The question is asking for GST liability to A Limited and B Limited. Yes. Now, the first one is what do you say? A Limited to B Limited is within Maharashtra only, which is why CGST and SGST. Yes. Oh, sorry. My bad. 1 second. Yes. So for A Limited, the purchases are not provided, which is why GST liability, we will assume that as it is not provided, so there is no input tax altogether. You understood why I said that, right? So A Limited, as you can see, is the question is saying makes the supply of goods of 10 lakhs, but how much the A Limited has purchased, that is not provided anywhere, which is why we will assume that input tax credit is not available for it. Now on 10 lakhs, the liability will be SGST and CGST, which are 9% each, as IGST is provided 18%. So CGST is 9%, SGST is 9%. So 10 lakhs, 9%, which comes to 90,000, 90,000. The total is 1,80,000. And A Limited has sold to B Limited. B Limited has sold to customer for 14 lakhs. So for when we are calculating the credit tax liability for B Limited, in that case, output tax liability will be 14 lakhs into 18%, which comes to 2,52,000. Now comes that category where our input tax credit is SGST and CGST. However, output tax is IGST. Here only that discussion that we have had. CGST we can adjust, SGST we cannot, right? So 90,000 of CGST we will adjust against the 2,52,000, and SGST we will not adjust, which means our final liability for B Limited is 1,62,000. Any questions, please? It's exactly same scenario, exactly same nature of question, just that the scenario is different, number of assessees are different, numbers are different. That's all. Okay. If no questions, can you please try this one?
Neeraj, that is the invoice, right? 1,62,000 is the invoice amount, right?
What do you mean by invoice amount?
If you scroll down, where is it?
Okay.
So here, 2,52,000. It's a GST. IGST has been applied, so you got some value here, like 2,50,000. Means
Okay.
this value you got. This is IGST. So now here we have IGST as the input, and output is CGST. Correct?
No, you said exactly other way around.
Okay. 2,52,000 is what is it my output or input?
It is
because I just
output.
see the number here. I am not able to track it, whether it's a okay input. So input means
no. I said output. I said output.
Okay, output, right?
Yes.
So this is output. So my input is CGST, which is
Yes.
90,000.
Yes.
So I got 1,62,000.
Yes.
This 1,62,000. What it is? Is it like GST payable?
Yes. Net GST payable. Net GST liability. That is what the question is asking, right?
But that is only
That is
GST
IGST.
liability of B, right? For
Yes.
A, there is another 90,000.
For A, it is 1,80,000, not even 90.
Right. Okay. No, I was just thinking the nullification. Yeah, got it.
Yes. I told in the beginning only, no? Because for A, we are assuming
Yes.
that there is no input tax. The whole 1,80,000 is liability for it. Yes.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. Great. Can you please practice this one very quickly? Very small question, should not take much time. So I'm saying now, okay, I have not modified the values. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. So let's say the A Limited to B Limited is 12 lakhs and B Limited to customer is 15 lakhs. And the rate I'm modifying it to 28%.
Then just 2,52,000 for B.
2,52,000 for B. 2,52,000 for B is the correct answer. Yes.
2,36,000 for no.
336, right?
336, yeah.
Yeah, 336 for A and 252 for B. Yes. Did everybody get the answer?
Dheeraj, I got the answer, but I just had one question.
Please.
So we will not be reducing the SGST paid, right?
Correct.
In
Correct.
this case, only we will adjust the CGST.
CGST. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, we have had comprehensive discussions about this one, where what happened was actually it is available. Actually, it should be deducted, but sir has very clearly told in the class that SGST will not be available because that is advanced concept which he has not taught in the class. And what happens is he has also practiced questions based on the same logic. Yes, so we'll be doing the same thing in the examination also.
Okay, I missed a couple of classes, so.
Oh, is it?
So
Okay. Yeah, no problem. All right. Once that is done, let's quickly move to the next question. So I have two more questions now, and I want to also cover few more theoretical questions. So let's try to cover that. In case we are not able to do late night today, I'll again schedule anyone, if available, please do connect. Otherwise, even if there is nobody, I'll actually conduct it and I'll share the video with everybody. Because there are more questions that I wanted to cover. All right, very quickly, next question. Based on the definition of aggregate turnover, okay, now that the moment aggregate turnover comes into picture, can somebody tell me what is this aggregate turnover? Why do we calculate this aggregate turnover?
To understand the total tax liability, and if there is registration required or composition levy will be applicable.
Yes, absolutely correct. So aggregate turnover is calculated for these purposes that Anvesa just told. Aggregate turnover includes certain things, doesn't include certain things. What does it include? It includes the taxable, non-taxable, exempt supplies, export of goods. All these are included, okay? What is not included? Only two things we have to remember. Now, it does not include reverse charge supply and doesn't include inward supply. What is the inward supply? Can somebody tell?
Input supply.
Yes, exactly. Inward means input supply. That is, we are now purchasing the goods or receiving the services. Now, what I told, I'll just repeat once. Aggregate turnover, what Anvesa told was, it is going to be used when deciding whether one person, one assessee has to, should apply for registration, or not. Is he eligible for composition levy or not? So in those particular scenarios, wherever the turnover word comes into picture, aggregate turnover has a role to play there. How to calculate it? It includes and excludes. There are two categories. Includes taxable supply, non-taxable supply, exempt supply, export of goods. Does not include two things, reverse charge and inward supply. Now let's quickly look at the question. Based on the definition of aggregate turnover under this, compute the aggregate turnover with adequate notes of Mr. Jaffer from the following information for the preceding financial year, this. Value of taxable outward supply, out of which 10 lakhs was in the course of interstate transaction. 50 lakhs. Should it be included or excluded? If yes or if no, what is this treatment of 10 lakhs? Can somebody tell quickly? We have actually, done this question in the class. We had this question in the CIA 2 also, just to revise the concept. Anybody?
We should deduct the 10 lakhs from 50 lakhs.
No. In the 4 items that I told included and then 2 items that I told excluded, was there any exception for interstate transaction or intrastate transaction?
No.
No, right? So it's just to confuse us. It's just to confuse us. Understood, right? So whole 50 lakhs will be included. Okay. Now let's come to value of exempt supplies, which includes 30 lakhs received as interest on loan advances. I told value of exempt supplies, which includes 30 lakhs received as interest on loans and advances. Let's understand this. Interest on loans and advances. Is this a supply?
No.
No.
So why have they included with this category? The reason is, I'll tell you. When we say supply, we have made some supply. That means we have sold to somebody, right? Or provided services to somebody, right? Now, when we supply, or in other words, when we provide goods or provide services, we receive money for it, right?
Correct.
So we have received 40 lakhs for that. 30 lakhs money we have also received, but that receipt is for interest on loans and advances. Tell me how much should be included under the aggregate turnover category.
70 minus 30.
Yes.
40 lakhs.
Yes, because the 30 lakhs is not even supply in the first place. That is just interest on loans and advances. We are not providing anything, any products or services. Understood, right? No questions there? Okay. Value of inward supplies on which he is liable to pay tax under reverse charge.
Exempted. As you said,
Not to be
right,
included, right? Not to be included. Yes, perfect.
Correct.
Value of exports.
Included.
As I told in the four categories which should be included, the last one was export of goods only, so it should be included. Now we'll quickly calculate the same thing, and our 50 is included, then 40, then 0, as we will not include the inward supplies which is under reverse charge. The last one, but not the list, 5 is included. The final one is 95 lakhs. Now, can somebody remind me, just to have a further discussion in this question, can somebody remind me what was the number for mandatory registration for GST?
1.5 crore.
No, that
Sorry,
was for
It's composition levy. Registration is 40 lakhs for goods, 20 lakhs for services, and 20 and 10 for special states.
But how you are going to justify here whether it's selling in special state or non-special state, because he has not mentioned any state over here.
No.
We'll write an assumption.
No, that is not even asked in the question, Sami. If that would have been asked, then that would have been specifically mentioned also.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
I'm just for discussion. I just wanted to. That was actually correct. So 40 lakhs for goods and 20 lakhs for services, and same numbers are 20 and 10 for the special states, as correctly mentioned by Anvesa. Now, however, there is this. Now that we know about that, we should also know one fact, that in case somebody is conducting an interstate transaction, in the course of interstate transaction, in that case, none of these actually limits are applicable. He is mandatorily required to take the registration. Interstate, you have to take the registration. Yes? Can somebody remember that, or any difficulty? Understood, right? Very easy to understand.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Outside the state transaction means it has to be captured. Otherwise,
yes, perfect. Very quickly, guys, can you please calculate for this question also? I have just modified the numbers again. I'll repeat those numbers once. So value of outward supplies is now 60 lakhs, out of which 15 lakhs was in the course of interstate transaction. Value of exempt supplies is now 80 lakhs, which includes 35 lakhs received as interest on loans and advances. Inward supplies under reverse charge is 10 lakhs. Value of exports is 10 lakhs. Very quickly, just add less, right? 5 values.
115.
115 is the correct answer. Yes, thank you. Did everybody get it?
Yeah.
Great. Quickly moving to the next one.
But there's one thing over here, Dheeraj.
Please. Yes.
As we are calculating the aggregate turnover, right? So as Anvesha mentioned, why we are doing aggregate turnover is to determine whether composite levy can be under composite levy scheme can be claimed the amount or not, right? Because the composite levy scheme we have like maximum 1.5 crores, right?
Correct.
Here still the turnover is less than 1.5 crores, right? It's 95 lakhs. So still I can't opt for composite levy scheme. The reason is, first thing is it is interstate, and the second thing is there is a reverse. No, export is also there, and reverse case mechanism is also there.
You are talking about composition levy.
Correct.
In composition levy, we didn't have these conditions, right?
No, composite levy. There is. I think sir has resolved this in the class also. he has mentioned the note also, like 1.5 crore. Let me recall it. Just give me a minute. I can place it here.
Dheeraj, so there was a note that they will, although
I
it is
shared it.
not exceeding 1.5
Hmm.
crores,
Mhm.
still it will be.
I shared the note. This is like shared by sir. Like, even though the threshold limit of the turnover of rupees 1.5 crores is not achievable by SSC, still composition levy scheme is not applicable since SSC is engaged in interstate supply of the goods and export. This is what like sir said.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. No, I didn't have that in me with me. Okay, fine, fine.
No worries.
Then
No.
that interstate condition is there for composition levy also. I was not aware about that. Okay.
No worries, sir.
Yes.
We are
yes.
learning from this.
Yeah. Indeed. Quickly moving to the next question. Let's finish it off within next 8 minutes. Mr. Ajay, a registered supplier of goods, pays GST under regular scheme and provides the following information for the month of August 2021. Now, these are the transactions that are provided during this month. Interstate taxable supply of goods, this much. Intrastate taxable supply of goods, this much. Intrastate purchase of taxable goods. The first two, liability, last one, credit. Purchase of taxable goods, the value is provided. He has the opening balance of input tax credit at the beginning of August, this one. So input tax credit that is currently available at the beginning of the month is 20,000, 30,000 and 25,000. Rate are provided. Question asked is, all the conditions necessary for availing the input tax credit has been fulfilled. Compute the net GST payable by Mr. Ajay for the month of August 2021. Now, for this, we calculate, first of all, how much is our output liability first. Output liability is nothing but 10 lakhs. That is interstate
18%.
IGST will be applicable 18%, which is 1,80,000. Yes, correctly you told Agnes. So 2 lakhs intrastate, which is 9%, CGST and HGST, 18,000 and 18,000. Now let's calculate the credit that is available for us. Earlier we already had 20,000, 30,000, 25,000. Now we have 5 lakhs. 9%, which comes to 45,000 credit for CGST and SGST. So totaling those, we have IGST total of 25,000, CGST of 65,000 and SGST of 75,000. Now matching all those together, IGST liability is 1,80,000. Liability for CGST is 18,000. SGST liability is 18,000. Now we have to adjust things together. Now the easier parts are CGST and SGST, right? Because the credit is more in both the cases, the whole liability will be adjusted. After adjustment of CGST, the balance left is how much? 47,000. This 47,000 can be adjusted against IGST or not?
Balance is left from which one? CGST or SGST?
CGST only.
Center, then yes. With
Yes.
IGST it can be done. If it was SGST, then no.
Yes, I was about to ask the same question. SGST left amount is 57,000. That cannot be adjusted, right?
It will be carried forward for the next
To
set
the
of
next month. Yes, absolutely correct. Now IGST balance is 25,000. The whole amount is adjustable. So after doing these adjustments, now we are left with 0 and 0 in CGST and 1,08,000 in IGST. We have done this question many times now. Any questions, please?
No.
Okay.
No, sir.
If no, then quickly do this also. I have modified the values already.
Dheeraj, it is getting fully nullified in my case. I'm not sure if I got it correct.
No, should not be. How much of liability you got? This many only, as you can see here.
Yes.
144, 9 and 9, right? And the input credit balance that you got?
144 actually no, I got some other value. I think
is it?
because I'm doing it manually. So
Yeah. Just see. 8 lakhs, 18%.
8 lakhs.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I calculated 1 lakh there. Okay.
Oh. No. That is intra.
Got it. So if it is 144, 9 and 9. Then 1,29,000. Then 1,29,000 minus 6. 1,23,000. But then again, I might be making a mistake.
How much you got? Sorry.
There is some calculation mistake, I think, but I understood.
Okay, no problem. So, as you can see, the 144, 9 and 9 are liability. Credits are 15, 78 and 88. Once we do the adjustment, the final liability is IGST 60,000 and the rest are 0 and 0. I'll share the document, quickly verify that in case something is happening, then you can figure it out. We'll end it right when less than 1 minute is there. So we'll end it right there. Once I have time, late night probably, I'll conduct one more to practice more questions and also discuss few theoretical questions. If you have time, please do connect. Otherwise, even if there is nobody else, I'll make the video and share it with you guys. Not a problem.
That'd be great. Like, is the exemption from GST is there for us? Exemption from GST?
No, it is not.
We don't have
it. It is not applicable.
Not there, right?
No.
Okay.
Hey, thank you very much, Dheeraj.
No problem, Sakti. Yeah, thank you for joining.
Thank you, Dheeraj.
Thank you guys.
And